friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel M2K Science. Today's video we will discuss class 10th Democratic Politics chapter number 1 Power Sharing part 2. So let us begin with that. Why is power sharing desirable? What does the word desirable means? It means that why is power sharing important to us? So there are two types of reasons, prudential reasons and moral reasons, that we have to write when we are solving this question, that why is power sharing desirable. So what are those two reasons, prudential reasons and moral reason? First, we will study about prudential reason. There are two prudential reasons, that is, it reduces the possibility of conflicts. As you looked at the Sri Lanka case, that as they were not sharing power with the Tamilians, conflict took place, civil war took place. So what does power sharing do? It reduces the possibility of conflicts. Second point is stability of government. It provides a stability to the government, because Sri Lankan government was not at all stable, whereas when we look at the Belgium government, people just Dutch people shared their power with the French people, and that is why their government was stable and they are working properly till today. Now we will study about the moral reasons of power sharing, that is very spirit of democracy. Democracy cannot work without power sharing. Power sharing is very important for democracy. Now what does it say? That power should be shared with whom? One more question can be formed from this, that with whom the power should be shared. So the power should be shared with the one who has to live with its effects, one who is affected by its exercise. So one who is affected by its exercise and one who has to live in its effects, the power sharing effects. Now next point, people have right to be consulted. Yes, people have RTI, that is right to information. They have a right to be consulted on what they are being what rights they are being given, what policies they have to follow, what laws they have to follow, and all internal various practices. They can be consulted. People have the right to be consulted, and they have the right to point towards the government, to point out the mistakes of the government when they find that the government is not working properly. Now let us move and discuss about the various forms in which power is shared. So we will look at that point now. 3 start. So the power is shared among different organs of government. Firstly, the power can be shared among different organs of government. Now you might have studied about the different organs of government in your previous classes. They are legislature, executive, and judiciary. Now this sharing of power, this power sharing is also known as the horizontal distribution of power. As you know that all these are in one straight line, they are horizontal to each other, they are all in one same place, they all have equal rights, equal positions, and they all work in a similar manner, and all of them have equal powers with them. So that is why this is also known as horizontal distribution of power, and this is also known as the system of check and balance, because each group checks each other, and if legislature is not working properly, then judiciary comes and they make certain arrangements for that. If executive is not working proper, then also judiciary interferes in between. So this is also known as a system of check and balance. That can even be a question, that what is the system of check and balance, or why is the horizontal distribution of power known as the system of check and balance. Now among different levels, how is power shared among different levels? So this is also simply federalism, about which you will be studying in next chapter, that is sharing of power between central government, state government, and in some places even local government. In our country there are 3 levels of government, that is central, state, and local government. Now central government has to give some powers to the state government has to give some powers to the central government, but most of the power are with the central government. and all of them do not have equal powers. That is why this is known as a vertical distribution of powers, because the level of power with each group goes on decreasing. Now power is shared among different social groups. Among social groups also power is being shared. All this is given in your textbook on the last page of this chapter. You can go through that and understand this clearly, but you have to majorly look at only these two. Nextly, power is shared among political parties, pressure groups and movements. Yes, power is also shared among them. They also have a share in power sharing. So you know that in our parliament we have various parties, and all those parties share power with each other. So that is why power is even shared by political parties, pressure groups and various movements, because sometimes movements are done, hartals are done, so that rights are being given to them. So power is also shared among them. So in this way we have completed our chapter, that is power sharing. This is a very easy chapter, and mostly questions from Sri Lanka, Belgium accommodation and this various forms of power sharing. Why is power sharing desirable, and write the moral as well as prudential reason of power sharing. So I gave it to you that what are the various moral reasons and what are the various prudential reasons. So this was all about this chapter. If you have any doubt, then do comment me down. I will be happy to clear them, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.